Hello and welcome to the Awesome 180 channel. I am Ashton Doctor, your habit coach, and today we're going to be talking about 5 habits to completely change your sex life. You're absolutely going to love this. I can't wait for you to listen to number 5, which is my favorite. Remember, if you like content like this, don't forget to hit subscribe and the little bell icon on the side so you know when future videos come out. So the first habit I want to talk to you is about communication. This is the bedrock of having a great rocking sex life. Because communication is so important. You need to tell the other person what you like, and you need to also receive information about what the other person likes. You know, very often we fall into this trap of saying, but they should know what I like. How will they not know what I like? We've been having sex for so many years. By now, if they don't know, listen, nobody knows. Everybody is just trying. You need to actually communicate and say, this is what I want. This is what I like. And once you start doing this, you're going to see such a fantastic change in your sex life, because communication, like I said in the beginning, is the bedrock. Also, don't forget to share your fantasies, your desires. You know, very often we're so conscious about it. But if we create a safe space, a place where there is no judgment, you don't judge the other person, make sure the other person doesn't judge you on your dislikes or likes, what happens is that very often the other person can surprise you. Maybe both of you all actually have the same fantasy, but nobody actually shared it. So as a result, it never happened. Talk, discuss, and see where your sex life can be improved, because this habit is so critical. Habit number 2, foreplay is not just the little bit that takes place before sex. Foreplay actually is such an important aspect of sex. And foreplay doesn't have to be just, touching each other before the act takes place. Foreplay can be so many things. It can be little naughty SMSs or texts that you send each other. It can be leaving little notes that are naughty for the person to find. It can be showing appreciation or showing excitement by shaving, by getting ready, by getting dressed up. Remember, sex is all about anticipation and creating anticipation. So imagine if you can use foreplay to create that anticipation. Because after all, that is what brings the pleasure out. It's what entices you, what increases the pleasure. So remember this word anticipation, because it's so important. And if you can build that into your foreplay, you're going to have a rocking sex life. Make 80% of all that you do foreplay and just 20% sex. You're going to see a dramatic change. You're going to see magic take place. Habit number 3, start using blindfolds and restraints. Now, don't get into this whole 50 Shades of Grey thing. It doesn't have to be that hardcore. You don't need to have a special dungeon locked away somewhere in your room. All you need is a blindfold. Why? Remember, like I said when we were discussing foreplay, sex is all about anticipation. And when you're blindfolded, you have no idea what your partner is thinking about or going to do to you. So that just starts building up that anticipation inside you. So anticipation is a great tool to use to spice up your sex life, and blindfolds are a great way of doing that. The second is restraints, binding, tying up your partner. Why is this important? Because just like I said, sex is about losing control sometimes. That anticipation of not being able to control, not knowing what the partner is going to do to you, again is very exciting. But a small word of caution here. Do not do the blindfolds or the binding with people that you do not know and do not trust. Make sure you trust your partner completely before you get into this, because you don't want that niggling at the back of your mind saying that, oh, I wonder what they're doing now, I wonder what they're doing now. That anticipation is not good. Complete trust, that anticipation, fantastic, mind-blowing. The 4th habit to completely spice up your sex life is aftercare, or after sex, what do you do? So very often what happens after sex, put on your clothes and just get out. Or you turn over and go to sleep. Or you head out to the shower. Now, this is actually the most important time, because you'll have just shared a very intimate moment. You don't want it to just be washed away. This after sex care is so important. This habit is so important, especially if you're in a loving relationship and you want to increase that love, that bonding. The cuddles, the hand holding afterwards releases a hormone called oxytocin that just boosts this activity. So remember to do that. And finally, number 5, which is get into the habit of giving more pleasure than you receive. Imagine a couple who's always trying to give the other person more pleasure than they received, can you imagine what that sex would be like? Very often we fall into this category or this routine of wondering what we're going to receive, what are we going to receive. We start becoming selfish in that regard. But when you start giving more, it's a strange thing, but you actually start receiving more as well. And that is what I want you to feel. Always think about, how could I have done this to pleasure this person more? What can I do to make this more exciting? And you'll notice that that person starts thinking the same way for you, wants to give it back to you in return. Don't fall into this trap of becoming selfish in bed, saying, I got mine, so I'm going to go. I got mine, I'm going to go. It is not a way that you want to build a sexual relationship. It's not a way that's going to completely light your sex life on fire. So this habit will completely change your sex life forever, and I'm so happy and excited for you to try this one out. Remember, sex is such an important part of our life, and we should start forming habits around sex, because look, we're forever thinking about it, we're wanting it. Why are we not discussing it enough? I'm using this channel to try and bring this topic out so that we can actually discuss it and improve the quality of our sex lives, instead of just it being behind closed doors. Quickly do this, quickly go have sex, and then don't talk about it anymore. So let's start this conversation, discuss it, share this video with your friends, family, so that they can think about it as well. Share this with your partner. Maybe you all might find some common ground to start a conversation. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach, and remember, awesome sex lives, they start with awesome sex habits.